Me and wife had the conversation, common sense versus intelligence, who has more of which, men or women? Who y'all think has more common sense, men or women? I think it's more intelligence, men or women? This girl like, I ain't talking. She's sitting up there and I'm going home and Spider-Man later, I ain't saying. I will say this though, I do believe women are better with money. Now I ain't got a lot to base that on, but since getting married, my phone ain't been cut off once. Now, as y'all thinking, women go shopping, spend every dime they got. They may be true, but guys, think about it. Admit it, we spend money we don't have. A guy could have $40 left to his name and still tip 50 to a Hooters waitress. Show you how bad I am, money. When I was 21 years old and still single, I won a trip to Cancun, Mexico. Won the trip. My flight down there was paid for. My room was paid for. Came back 4 days later, spent $1,200 of my own money. I don't know where it went. I got back to the States, have a thing to show for my trip to Mexico, except a tattoo that I can't read without 2 mirrors and a Spanish to English dictionary. She is great, and she's very forgetful though. I was in Walmart, she calls me on my cell phone. She goes, hey man, before you leave, can you pick me up a gas cap? She was filling up, left her gas cap sitting on top of the pump, drove off and forgot it. I said, Tweety, I'm not sure if Walmart sells gas caps. She goes, yeah, they do. That's where I get them all the time. She's always been forgetful. I realized that day of our wedding. We got married in Alexandria, Alabama. Drove 2 hours to the Atlanta airport. Flew to Orlando, Florida to go to Disney World for a honeymoon. By the way, Disney World is a horrible idea for a honeymoon. You want your first time getting it on as husband and wife be wrecked because you have, it's a small world after all, stuck in your head. Has anybody been to Disney World lately while I'm on this topic? No. We just went again, like this past November, early December, somewhere around there. We went for like a little second trip down there. This place is set up to captivate you, make you feel like a little child. This last time we went, my wife was 30 years old. She saw Mickey Mouse. She skipped. Not run, not walk. Skipped up to him, threw her arms around him, started getting like a toddler because of this 6-foot mouse. 3 weeks ago in our garage, we see a mouse this big. Totally different reaction. This time she screams hysterically, levitates off the ground, lands on the back of a folding chair and starts clutching it with her toes. I mean, she is perched there like a parakeet because of a mouse, little mouse. This big one, sweetheart, this is ridiculous. You have got to get off the chair. There ain't enough room up here for the both of us. But our first trip down there, day of our wedding, 7 years ago, so we have the gift she is. We have a 2-hour drive to the airport before we even get started with the actual trip. 30 minutes in that car drive to the airport, she looks at me. I forgot my cell phone, sweetie, you have to use my phone. Can we go back for your phone? I forgot my jacket. Get cold, you borrow my jacket. Can we go back for your jacket? I forgot my dress shoes. We'll get to Florida, we'll buy you a new pair of dress shoes. When you time to go back for your dress shoes. I forgot my birth control. I did a U-turn on the grassy median at 85 miles an hour. Got back to her mother's, get everything, 5 minutes in the second trip. I run a little checklist by her. Do you have your birth control? Yeah. Do you have your cell phone? Yeah. Do you have your jacket? Yeah. Do you have your dress shoes? No. Why not? You told me I could get a new pair. Yeah, she's got common sense. She's also used to getting whatever she wants out of life, but she is the only girl in her family, thus making her daddy's little girl. Daddy's little girls get everything they want. I found this out the hard way. 4 years ago, I became the father to a little girl. I haven't told my wife about her yet. I don't know how she's going to react. I'm joking. My wife was in labor for 46 hours. I know, thank God I brought that PlayStation. Any video game fans out there? Y'all play video games? You do? What you got, man? What do you play? Call of Duty? That's a shoot 'em up game? That's where we got to shoot the Nazis, right? We actually got to go over, we was doing some shows over in Iraq for the troops, one of the USO tents got for us playing that. And me and this other soldier, they come in from the field, the USO sets me like these Xbox 360s, started playing it, and I was really getting into that game. I never played before, and the soldier's like, okay, I'll be right back. Paused it, get something to go to the restroom. Like, you better hurry back, these Nazis ain't gonna kill themselves. He turned around and went, one will. So what do you got on? What are you playing on? PS3, yeah, I got a PS2. I want those Xbox 360s like we had over there. I asked for one for Christmas, didn't get it. My wife goes, we're on for the holidays. I said, sweetie, I really, really want a 360. She went, I don't know if I know how to do that. As soon as I decide what it is, I'll draw it out for it. No, I do. I spoil my kids right, and both of them. We recently had our second child. Now, our second one, since I already had a girl, I wanted a boy this time. You know, one of each and it's done. And I go in with my wife to the sonogram. The doctor goes, well, Matt, you have a girl, and now you're going to have a boy. Well, how can you tell? And he pointed to it there on the screen. He goes, do you see that thing right there? I go, yeah. He goes, that's his doohickey. Dude, my doctor's from Alabama, too. I knew what he was talking about. Y'all, I've not been that happy to see a doohickey since. I've never been that happy to see a doohickey. But the baby's born, the Pico showed you a glimpse of the doohickey. It's not there. I lost a doohickey. Guys, how disheartening that is to look over and expect to see an egg roll and there's a wonton instead. And my wife could tell I was disappointed. The second one was a girl too. She goes, Matt, don't worry, I know you want a boy. We're going to try again. We're damn straight we're going to try again. She goes, what are we going to do if the next one's a girl though? Then we're going to try again. What if that one's a girl? Then we're going to try again. What if that one's a girl? Then there's going to be a mix-up at the hospital. They just don't know it yet. I'll be damned if I'm cutting grass my whole life. But I do, I spoil my kids, right? And that's why this last Christmas was probably the most amazing Christmas I've ever had. Because my oldest girl, Gracie, she just turned 4 like a week before Christmas. This is the first Christmas she was actually old enough to understand what was going on and get excited about it. Now, the way we do Christmas morning in our house is everything that's out in front of the fireplace, that's from Santa Claus. Everything that's wrapped and up under the tree, that's from Mommy and Daddy. So we go through this Christmas list, it's stuff she wanted. One of the items on this list was a Cinderella pink radio. Didn't even know if they made them, very difficult to find. We finally located one. When we came in, I told my wife, wrap that up, put it up under the tree, that's for me and you. She's expecting it from Santa. I don't care, that one's for me and you. Christmas morning, little girl runs in there, sees her toys, all excited playing with them, goes through a mental checklist, no pink radio, gets really, really sad. A couple hours later, she opens the presents under the tree, there's the pink radio, now she's happy. Now yes, I purposely allowed my daughter to be disappointed for a few hours on Christmas morning because I wanted her to understand one thing. Santa Claus ain't always going to come through, but damn it, Daddy will. I didn't give that fat man credit for that. I spent 3 hours on Craigslist. I do, I spoil my kids, right? The main reason is me and my wife tried forever to get pregnant before it finally happened. Several years of trying, no conceptions. Maybe go to the doctor to make sure everything was all right. So I went to the doctor, I did what they want me to do. Doctors check my stuff, they come back, this is what they told me, I'm not making this up. They go, Matt, everything's fine. Your problem is, get this, the problem is you and your wife are doing it too much. Yeah, no such thing as too much, Doc. If you tell Emily that, I'm going to break your damn nose. He goes, no, what he's going to do is wait for that right time of the month. Save him up till then. Have us find this right time of the month. He gave us this ovulator predictor. Now, what this thing basically told me was I had to keep my swim team in the locker room till this thing said the pool was ready. Well, fellas, back me up. After 3 days, our guys got to make a lap somewhere. I don't care if it's the bathtub. Finally got pregnant. She was super happy. I was happy too when she got pregnant. I was happy for a selfish reason. I was happy because I made the mistake of letting everybody we know we were trying that whole time. That was stupid. Several years of trying with no conception, and my buddies began to see it as an inadequacy on my part. Something I'm doing wrong. My buddy Les came out like, hey man, am we pregnant yet? No, not yet. Oh. Everything all right down there? Are you okay? Yeah man, I'm fine. Oh. Sure, if you want a kid, I can come over and pinch hit that for you. Other things, man. Les was actually the first person I called when I found out she was pregnant too. Wasn't my mom, wasn't her mom. Had to save my pride. I called up my buddy Les. Hey, just letting you know, Emily's pregnant. She's got a bun in the oven. He goes, I know. You're welcome. School, right into college. Les, the coolest guy I knew. Les, the first one of any of my friends, get his own apartment. He had a little 1-bedroom apartment. And I stayed at his place so much I had my own mattress kept propped up against the wall in the living room. I just dropped down the floor. That's where I slept at parties, get-togethers, stuff like that. And the story I'm about to tell y'all is the story of the strangest one-night stand I've ever had in my life. And normally, being a married guy, I don't talk about sex before marriage, but something has happened here recently to bring this story back into my life. Do you know how those stories last for like over a decade? Your buddies ain't gonna let you live it down. So one night, me, Les, my buddy, buddy Harold are sitting in his one-bedroom apartment drinking underage. And if y'all can recall drinking underage, you drank whatever you get your hands on. No matter what it costs, what it tastes like, if it's getting you drunk, it's doing the job. That explains why this night in Alabama, 3 of us were sitting around drinking Mad Dog 2020. Yeah. If you've never had Mad Dog 2020, you can ask any one of these people, they'll back it up. You can walk into any liquor store, purchase a bottle of Mad Dog 2020, ask for banana red. It's the worst flavor they made too. I guarantee you, the guy selling to you will put it on the counter, look at you in the eye, and goes, "Really? Has your life gotten that bad?" Les had so much of this stuff, he passed out on the counter. I mean, he drank a lot, like at least $4 or $5 worth. You know. He passed out on the couch. Shortly after he passes out, my buddy Harold's girlfriend shows up with her new roommate, Jenna. Harold carries his girlfriend back to Les's one bedroom. Me and this Jenna girl sitting there hitting it off. Like, you know what? Les is passed out on his couch. He ain't waking up. Let's drop this mattress down right here on the floor in front of him. Have us some fun. He'll sleep through it. So we do that. We start going at it. She starts making a sound that I can only describe as being that of a dying ostrich. That obviously sounds enough like an alarm clock to wake Les up. Because now out of the corner of my eye, I can catch him beaming me, bare ass bounce here and all. He's not looking like, well, she's hot. Where'd she come from? He's like, what the hell is wrong with that? Like, dude, I don't know. I look back at her. Her face, which was so beautiful, is now somehow magically contorted to match the sound. I can't look this way and see that. I can't look this way and see him, and he's giggling now. There was no way for me to direct my line of sight. I didn't know what to do there. I was 17 years old, really inexperienced in the sex department. I didn't know the right steps to take. What should a gentleman do? I panicked. I grabbed a pillow. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. I wasn't applying force, you know, just like later. But even through the pillow, I can still hear. So to my knowledge, I am the only male of any species on the history of the planet to ever do this. I faked it. Just done. By the time I woke up the next day, Les had already told everybody we know. Everybody we graduated with, everybody we played on a team with, everybody I worked with, all of my friends for years have called me ostrich fucker. Making all these bad jokes. They say, hey, Maddie, are you in a foul mood? Well, several years go by, and I am finally on the second date with a girl I've had a crush on since I was 14 years old. I mean, she was that unattainable angel I put high up on a pedestal way out of my league. I dug her for so long, she's finally starting to dig me. I'm taking her to nice places, trying to impress her. Our second date, we went to Les. He tells her the story of the dying ostrich. A couple months after that, me and that girl are making love for the first time. The heat of passion, she looks at me. A sense of humor like that, I had to put a ring on her finger. We got married. We have a couple kids now. I'm working in Oklahoma City last year. She calls me up and says, you have been reading to our daughter, haven't you? I went, yeah, I have. How can you tell? Well, she could tell because my little girl was 3 at the time, and I would read her this book when I was home that my wife read to her for me on one of these road trips. And the book was called I Love My Daddy Because. I love my daddy because he plays with me, and it shows monkeys playing, and she sees the monkeys. She goes, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. I love my daddy because he takes naps with me, and it shows lions sleeping under a tree, and she'd roar. I love my daddy because he runs with me, and it shows 2 ostriches. My 3-year-old looked up, my wife went, Well, the first time I read it to her, she wanted to know what an ostrich sounded like. That's what I told her it sounded like. I mean, I don't know if that's what an ostrich sounds like. I've never actually heard an ostrich. Now, y'all ever heard an ostrich? But I'm going to bet the next time you go to the zoo and see an ostrich, you're like, hey, throw a rock at it.